I believe we are live. Let's just go ahead and verify real quick. Should be good to go though. Should be. Ooh, click the wrong damn button, bro. I believe we are live.
There it is.
Let's just go ahead and verify. Hell yeah. Get that echo out the way. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the brand new episode of Galaxy of Film live this week. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these. Actually, the last one we talked about was The Last of Us on HBO. This week, we are here talking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the very highly anticipated movie for the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We got some guest stars joining us today, thankfully. Before we go ahead and start talking Guardians, because I know we're going to get the chat active, get some people up in here. We got a couple things for news talking about, and a couple things for shows as well. Some of the May the 4th stuff that dropped last week. But let me go ahead and introduce some of these guest stars first. Actually, this week, I'm not joined by Danilo, obviously, but we got Dakari stepping back up in the co-host role again. He was our original third co-host here at Galaxy of Film. How are you doing, bro? It's been a hot minute.
It sure has. I've been doing, as usual, honestly. I just got finished with my junior year of college. I'm currently heading for the summer in the islands.
Oh.
My mom just got a new job out here. That's where I'll be during the summer, and I turned 15. No, did I just say 15? No, I just turned 21.
Oh,
on the 8th.
Yeah, bro, that was yesterday.
That was yesterday. So
God,
just fresh off
Happy
the
belated birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, it's just me adjusting everything. And first, straight out the gate, I started my summer seeing 2 movies. I was afraid.
Very nice, bro. Very nice. So you're on the islands right now, you said, right?
Yeah, currently, as we speak.
God damn, dude. Galaxy of Film has made its way to another fucking place, it looks like. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, man, you can say that.
That's sick, bro. That's sick. And happy belated birthday as well. If you were following our Instagram at Galaxy of Film, you would know it was Dakari's birthday. You guys need to follow us on social media already. Don't know what you're doing, But also joining us this week, we have our cinematographer here at Galaxy of Film, Alex Reams. How are you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Just finished up another semester of college, gearing up to shoot some movies during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, do some work, nothing much. Just have a nice chill summer.
Absolutely. I feel you on that, dude. We just had a long production day with ourselves, actually, talking about our next film, Distinguished. Can't wait for everyone to see that, dude. That'll be a fun one to shoot in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I've been around you all day and I have to be around you some more.
I know, dude. I know. Poor fucking you.
It's a charmed life.
I feel you on that. And we also got joining us this week the legendary, the man, the myth, the one we've been talking about for so fucking long because he's been talking about us just as long. We got Gamer Harold. How are you doing, bro?
I'm really good. I'm hungry as usual, but I'm awesome.
You know what? I feel that, Harold. I could go for a snack, honestly.
I feel you on that too, dude. What's been going on that's new in your life, Harold?
Everything's been pretty much the same, but I just beat Star Wars Fallen Order, so I'm starting on Survivor. So
oh, you already
and
beat
then I'm
it.
getting ready to buy Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom Friday.
Oh, that does come out Friday, doesn't it, man?
Mm-hmm.
I feel you. Have you replayed any Breath of the Wild lately to get yourself prepped up for it?
Yeah, I've been playing for a while now when I can.
I feel you. How'd you like Fallen Order?
It was really good. I'm planning on 100% it, so.
Ooh, that's dedication, dude. That combat's hard as hell. I've been playing some Jedi Survivor the past couple of days, too. That game's very addicting. Love it, man.
I can't wait to do it.
Absolutely, bro. I think you're going to love it. There's a lot of expanding they did upon Fallen Order, which is really surprising. Because Fallen Order is pretty in-depth, too, for what it is. But
yeah, really good.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And we also got joining us Johnny Zuko from Bump in the Night. How are you doing, man? It's been a few weeks we've had you on as well, since I think it was Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise. That was a fun episode. Great to be back on the show again. Appreciate the invite. Just going day by day. I just finished editing a short film that I was working on. Hopefully, I
Ooh.
can have that posted by the end of the week or next week. Need to run it through some people first before I can post it, but I think for the most part, I got it done. So just need that final stamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. So can you give us any details in this short film? That's pretty awesome because we're doing a bunch of short film stuff too this summer.
So it's basically about a blogger doing an internet challenge that goes wrong.
Oh,
So
nice,
yeah, it's all
man.
found footage, and we have. I laid out some traps for him throughout and surprised him,
Mm.
and so a lot of the reactions that we captured were genuine. So I was kind of proud that I finally got to scare the shit out of him. So I was happy about that.
That sounds awesome, dude. That's
Rushing
fucking
him in
dope.
my green suit.
Wait, say that again?
So yeah, that I was rushing him with my green suit. I had like a green suit on, so I was just like rushing him
That's
and
sick,
tackled
bro.
him really hard.
That's sick. I can't wait to see that, bro. That'll be a cool piece to watch, honestly. That'll be dope. Okay, before we go ahead and
Thank you.
start talking news real quick, guys, we got a couple people in the chat already blowing us up. Let's see what we got going on in here. Let's see what we got going, guys. We got Sway Ramirez. What's up, man? We also got AJ Boss 0930. What's going up? Keep on the work. Just subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel, dude. That does mean a lot. Got a lot coming on here. It's gonna be great. We got Shy the Uchiha. Don't know what the hell that is, but welcome.
That's artisan Naruto stuff.
Hello, Josue. Hello, Sherry. Thanks for clicking the link.
Bro, this is why we got Harold with us. Man's a top G right there. This is why we keep Harold around, guys. Absolutely. We also got Brandon Gibson. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the chat. Oh man.
Hello, Brandon.
Even
That's
more
also my
people
friend.
from Harold. Sweet, bro.
Harold's
Sweet.
just he's hyping up everybody today.
I'm thinking one of my people just joined too. I'm not sure.
Very nice, bro. Hopefully we get everyone in here, bro. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna talk Guardians of everybody. You know? We haven't had a chance to talk the first two films. We'll go ahead and dig into those shortly after we do our recap, but for Guardians 3. But let's go ahead and talk news real quick, guys. I got two big things up for us to discuss. First up, Robert De Niro welcomes his 7th kid at age 79 today. Holy shit. My man is straight raw dogging out here. This is wild. This is like the actor of like the actor version of Nick Cannon, it feels like. This is wild.
Wait, did you say Nick Cannon, bro?
Yeah, he just compared Robert De Niro to Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. That's
It's
wow,
the
bro.
only- That's the only time Nick Cannon and Robert De Niro will ever be in the same sentence.
Yeah, dude, probably.
Yeah.
7 fucking kids? And didn't Nick Cannon just have his 11th, or is it 12th?
I think he
I
was.
think it was 12.
He's
but
like
yes,
on Baker's.
yeah.
He might be above Baker's dozen now.
That's
We don't
ridiculous.
know. I mean, any other that we don't know about?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's got to be more that we don't know about.
That's ridiculous, dude. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
But,
I think.
go ahead, Dakari. You're up first for
Yeah.
your opinions on this one.
No. I'm saying I think one of my bandmates just joined. I think it's AJ Boss 0930.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Welcome to the stream. Let us
Yeah,
know
what's up,
your
bro?
thoughts on De Niro so AJ can hear, bro.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, when I actually read that on my surfing, so just right because I had to reread it again because I thought he said bad. Children said.
What the hell? Dakari, we can't hear you, bro. You're going in and out for some reason.
You can't hear me?
Now we can hear you. Now you're talking up and speaking clearly. Go ahead, read.
Okay, so let me talk like this then. So, I actually thought it was saying something like, along the lines of Robert De Niro passing at 70. But no, it was actually Robert De Niro having his 7th child at 70. I'm like, oh wow. You don't see that very often at all.
Apparently, he's seen it 7 fucking times.
He's 79 years old, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose so. But that's a lot, dude.
It is. It is, but hey, more power to him.
I guess so. Yeah, more power to him, bro.
Yeah, man.
I think
I
he's
can't
got
say
plenty.
nothing about it.
He's got plenty of power flowing through him at that age. Let's be honest here.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
At 79, dude, and he ain't shooting blanks. That's impressive. Let's just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's no dust coming out of there, man. He's shooting. He's shooting for real, and he ain't missing.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, man. But like, just hearing it out loud is.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah,
We
truly.
were all thinking it. I just said it.
Well, you know what? More power to you for saying it.
Yeah, you got as much power as De Niro does, buddy. What's up? We got our man Sith Lordy, aka Spine Ticks, in the chat. What's going on, bro? Thank you for coming in to support us. Harold, I want to hear some of your thoughts on Robert De Niro having his 7th kid.
Who is that?
There we go. Love to hear it.
Are you serious?
Is he in Guardians of the Galaxy?
I mean, in a way, in a way, he is. I feel like through another old bearded Italian man.
There's an alternate universe where Sylvester Stallone's character is played by Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's one of the
Absolutely.
multiverses. Jesus Christ.
Which means, by that logic, there's also one where Joe Pesci plays Stallone's character.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you imagine a little short guy like that, dude? Just like running rampant as a Ravager? That'd be funny as fuck, dude.
I can. We have Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, and he was Peter Trask. Peter Trask, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, multiple crazed little people.
Oh my god, dude, you can't just.
He got that. Man, he created Stormbreaker, so you know can't be mad at that.
But that he was a giant dwarf. That's different.
Yeah, true.
He actually
Like
was
that-
the giant little guy in Infinity War.
Yeah.
It was pretty clever and a great way to have him show up in a nice cameo role in a movie that's already overstuffed.
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations to him.
Okay.
Yeah, Harold.
Yes.
Don't ever
Love
change, Harold. Don't ever change. Alex, what are your thoughts on De Niro's 7th kid?
Good for him. I mean, I don't really know how to feel. I mean, are you really going to be around when the kid goes to college?
Damn,
Like,
you said it, not
really?
me, bro. Shit.
Like, no, like, think about it. Like, you go to college at 18. He's 79 right now.
Maybe De Niro will be like 110 years old and like an active parent still. You never know.
No.
Well,
You really
I mean,
think
he
he's going
is a
to
card-carrying member of the Illuminati, so I'm pretty sure Robert De Niro is good for him.
Oh.
Hold on, real quick. We got a comment in the chat saying, "Hail Hydra, my sister is pregnant, guys."
No.
Congratulations.
No.
That's my,
That's
okay, so that's
crazy.
my friend. That's my friend Eric, and my sister was actually pregnant, not his sister. He don't even have a sister.
So your sister's pregnant, Harold?
Well, she had her child, but hello, Eric. How are you?
Oh well, congratulations. More people are having kids or something. There's another kid somewhere. So congratulations,
Whoever was pregnant, congratulations.
Johnny.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
the
go.
next comment says, "Thanks, guys, and want to be a dad." Oh shit. All right, Johnny. What are your thoughts on De Niro as being a dad
My
again?
friends are going crazy in the comments section. No bueno, no bueno.
All good content.
All good content.
There's no such thing as bad content. Only boring content.
There you go.
Boring. Don't be boring. You can be bad, but you can't be boring. You know what? Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. Like Robert De Niro, you got your 7th kid, great. Eddie Murphy has 10, so you know.
Holy.
He has 10?
Yeah, he has 10.
Eddie Murphy has
Oh
10
my
kids.
gosh.
What the hell, dude?
Wow.
What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all of them were like adults. So
Well, thankfully.
Eddie Murphy has 10 kids.
Jesus Christ, dude! I'm glad I don't have one yet. Jesus.
Yeah.
Better. So, so it is what it is. So, props to De Niro, man. Props to De Niro.
Yeah, props to him, I guess. Jesus Christ. Moving on to the next piece of news we have. Jenna Ortega and Winona Ryder have officially signed on for Beetlejuice 2. Personally, I gotta be honest with you guys, I absolutely hate Beetlejuice. I'm not looking forward to this sequel. If I watch this sequel, it is purely for the podcast. This is just one classic film that everyone loves that I can never get behind. I saw too many damn reruns on Cartoon Network as a kid. Yeah, man. Personally, I'm not looking forward to it, but Dakari, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
I've never seen Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I've only seen clips and bits and pieces of it, so I've never really sat down and watched it. However, I will consider it because I do like Tim Burton. I do like most of his work. I guess it wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But as long as Tim Burton is directing this, Tim Burton directing this.
I think he is.
Yeah. He is.
Okay, that's all I need to know, and I'll be okay. Beetlejuice is Tim Burton's thing.
That's fair, bro. That's fair. What about you, Alex? What are some of your thoughts on this Beetlejuice 2 news?
I'm one of those Beetlejuice nuts. I love the original. I've seen it so many times I can quote it up and down. Burton's directing it, and he's bringing in Jenna Ortega, who he just made Wednesday with, and Wednesday was absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite shows of 2022. I thought it was so much fun. It felt like Tim Burton going back to what he does best, which is quirky goth comedy.
Okay.
And that's what Beetlejuice is. And so getting, Winona Ryder back and Jenna Ortega, I think you've got a really good mix. Get Michael Keaton back.
Mm-hmm.
He signed on already.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast a few weeks ago.
He signed on. He was one of the first to sign on.
Oh, well, perfect. Then I think this is gonna be a pretty good movie. Just let Tim Burton make what he wants to make. Don't let the studio get involved.
Thank you.
Warner Brothers. So
well, Warner Brothers has been good to him in the past.
Yeah.
That has been a fruitful collaboration in the past. All right, you mean the model for the modern American superhero movie?
You talking about the Superman
89 Batman?
Oh, dude, I thought we were talking about the Nick Cage Superman movie for a second.
No, we're talking about Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah, they're okay too, I guess.
Yeah.
Nah, that either way, I think this is going to be a good combination. It's Tim Burton back doing weird stuff.
No, I feel you on that, bro. I feel you on that. Okay. Harold, bro, I'm very curious to hear your comments on Beetlejuice 2's announcement and these castings being confirmed for this piece.
I don't know those people. I've never seen the first one, and I'll only see the second one if you want me to for the podcast.
That's the spirit we need here at Galaxy of Film, dude.
That's dedication right there.
Don't you ever change, Harold. Don't you ever change. What's going on? We got our boy Derek Lyon in the chat right now. Actually, dude, this guy was an original stream mod for my CBD 12 days. So this is really dope having him involved with this. How are you doing, bro? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Now, Johnny, very curious to hear your thoughts on these Beetlejuice 2 news.
I'll be honest, I really didn't care. Don't care.
Okay.
And honestly, I like the Jenna Ortega thing. I feel like it's a casting of popularity rather than right casting. I don't think she might be typecasted going forward as that goth girl going forward like Wednesday, and then she's gonna play. I don't even know who she's playing in Beetlejuice 2. So is she gonna be
the daughter of Winona Ryder? She does it so well. She did so many horror projects in 2022. There is a case for her to be continuing to do these horror projects.
Yeah, and another issue is I haven't seen Wednesday, so I don't know if Burton's back. But the past few Burton films though have not been good.
Mm-hmm.
Just have not. So, that's another thing where you got to really look at like, okay, is Burton doing this because this is a passion project, or is he doing this for the paycheck? That's the
Absolutely.
question that I have
That's a
at
good
this
point.
moment in time. You know what I mean? Like he's set with Wednesday, he's good. Season 2 is coming like whenever the writer strike's over. But also the writer strike's happening. So is there a script?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, man.
The writer strike is going to push back so much that we probably won't see Beetlejuice until 2025. Honestly,
Oh,
I don't
dude,
think
I'm
there's
thinking 2026. To be real with you.
no. It's got a 2024 date.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it got a 2024 release date. It's not making that. There's no way, unless this writer strike gets done within the next month, which I doubt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of major movies are probably just going to get pushed back instead of just forced on.
Because
Yeah.
Blade just shut down production.
Stranger
Mortal
Things
Kombat
5
is
did.
going into filming in June. I don't even know how that's gonna go.
Mm.
I mean,
Anything that's going to film at this point is going to be bad. It's going to be It's going to have the effects of Quantum of Solace and Transformers 2 on it.
I didn't even realize Transformers 2 was a product of the writer's strike. I didn't even realize it until I saw that.
It makes sense.
Shit. That makes so much sense now. That was some bullshit when you think about it. Like, what? You gotta believe in yourself and the king just reappears? What kind of shit is that?
It's going to be a mess for a while. So, like House of the Dragon, them going to go film, that's going to be bad for them. We're probably going to get a bad second season, and it's going to lose a lot of the momentum and goodwill it built up.
So I'm not a Game of Thrones fan still, dude. So fuck House of the Dragon.
Well, it was a fun show, all right.
That's fair, dude. I never got into the Game of Thrones. I gave it a shot. I watched a good bit of season 1 and a good bit of like random episodes scattered throughout the rest of the series.
I liked House of the Dragon. I liked House of the Dragon way more than Game of Thrones, honestly. I never got on the train. I never got on the train like a lot of people.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Dang, dude. Never got on the train. Never got on the train, bro. Well, guys, it's going to wrap it up for news this week. Let's go ahead and talk shows real quick. The only show, I've been keeping up with this week is Star Wars Visions Volume 2. This is something we talked about last week on the podcast. We did our Ewok special with Eric Walker, who plays Mace Twani in the Ewok Adventures films. Link down below. Check out that episode. It was a lot of fun. But that was our May the 4th episode, and we were talking about some of our expectations for Volume 2. Now that the full season's out now, I've watched so far 6 of the 9 episodes. And I gotta say, I'm loving this season like 10 times more than last. I really wasn't a big fan of the anime adaptations so much last season. And this season so far has been like 1 episode per like different studio. And they're taking from all different kinds of cultures and animation styles of this one. This one's a lot of fun in my opinion. I'm really loving this so far. I really like the Sith episode the most, I think. It's very colorful. It reminds me of like if Sabine Wren's like art style from Rebels was fleshed out into a full cohesive story and brought into a Jedi versus Sith element. I'm loving this shit so far, man. But Dakari, have you watched any of Star Wars Visions 2?
I have not. My Disney Plus has been acting up lately, so I haven't really been able to catch up with anything Star Wars related that's new, to be exact.
Okay.
I definitely do want to check it out. I like the concept of the show. Different studios different anime studios from different areas in the world coming together to put together their own stories in anime form. That's a cool concept. Same thing they kind of did with The Matrix and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing Star Wars, so that's something I would actually watch.
Okay, I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. And also, real quick, I should mention, too, guys, at some point in the next few weeks, Danilo will be dropping an LFG on Volume 2. I know last year we did almost 2 years ago now, we did an LFG on Volume 1. Link down below for that. Check it out if you want to hear our thoughts on Star Wars Visions. But Seasons 2, LFG will be out soon. Alex, have you watched any of Volume 2?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nah. there's much better TV to watch than Star Wars Visions. There's much better TV.
Wow. Okay.
Strong words, dude. Strong words, bro.
I stand by what I said. Succession and Barry are the two best things on right now.
Okay, that's fair, bro. That's fair. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
Never seen Barry. Never seen Succession.
Y'all are missing out.
I don't know, man. I've only seen the bits of Succession you put on when you're at my house, and it's just a bunch of angry white guys screaming at each other.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's hilarious. It's great. And yes, I do put it on when I can. It's nice to watch it on the big TV.
Jesus Christ, dude. Harold, have you watched any of Volume 2 of Star Wars Visions? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No.
Love to hear it, buddy. Love to hear it. Johnny, have you watched any of Volume 2?
No, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Like, I'll watch the movies or The Mandalorian here and there, but I'm not an active Star Wars fan. I'll watch it here and there, but I'm not. Yeah, it's not on my radar as much. You know.
Okay.
I'll watch movies, but like as far as the TV shows, I'm just like, it's at this point it's Marvel shows. You know what I mean? It's just background. So
yeah,
that's just how I look at it.
I feel you on that, man. I feel you. Well, damn, that's all the show talk I had, if that's the case. I was expecting this segment to go a little longer, but damn. Let's go ahead and start talking about some Guardians of the Galaxy real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Alex, I'm really curious to hear your recap on this, dude. I'm putting you on the spot. That's right, bro. Give me your motherfucking recap, bro.
Alright, so Guardians of the Galaxy, when we start out, they're on Nowhere, like they were in the holiday special. This movie relies on you having seen the special, because that builds up a couple of the dynamics that go into this movie. The one between Mantis and Quill, the one between Mantis and Drax, the introduction of Cosmo, the development of Kraglin more as a Guardian, and Nebula.
So give us a recap on the holiday special real quick then, before we even start talking about 3.
Yeah.
Alright, so Mantis and Drax are wanting to get a Christmas gift for Peter Quill to cheer him up, you know, because he's sad about Gamora. So they decide to get him Kevin Bacon, the actor Kevin Bacon. And, well, it involves them dealing in human trafficking, that Kevin Bacon eventually comes to realize that he was not willingly going on this trip. Mantis takes away her little power thing, and then he suddenly freaks out and runs. Which gives Nebula a fantastic line that will be remembered throughout all of Guardians' history of, "You can't run from me, Bacon," or "You can't outrun me, Bacon." And it's hilarious to watch. It's a great, like, feel-good special. And at the very end, it's revealed that Mantis is Quill's sister, and that sets up their dynamic for this movie, because Mantis is wanting to build up her relationship with Peter, and he's just wanting to wallow and drink around, because the loss of Gamora and now her being involved with the Ravagers and just completely forgetting Peter has left him in a really confused state, which means that everyone else is basically just taking care of him at this point. Like that shot from the trailer with Nebula holding Peter, everyone thought was towards the end. No, that happens in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's not a spoiler like everyone was thinking. It's not important. Alright. Max, can you give me 30 seconds on that recap, if you don't mind?
What?
I'm sorry. There are others in the house who haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm trying to be considerate.
Okay, buddy. What?
Okay.
Good timing for a live episode, pal. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
Let's just take a break real quick. Go in the comments. Just give us your recaps in the comments.
Jesus Christ.
No. So anyway, Rocket eventually gets injured with the introduction of Adam Warlock. And eventually they have to go figure out there's a part inside of him that refuses them to operate. They have to get the switch for that. And unfortunately, it's kind of difficult, because the High Evolutionary is this godlike being who is essentially focused on perfection at all costs. And it basically makes some really deranged stuff. The animal cruelty is insane. Um, and it's graphically shown. Like James Gunn does not hide away from what happens to these creatures and what the High Evolutionary does. Um, and that narrative is what takes hold for most of it. It cuts back and forth between Rocket's past and their efforts to break in and get the code for his kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So after they do all of that, they finally get the code. Everything goes as you would hope. They save. We're getting spoilers, right?
Yeah, dude. Why wouldn't we get spoilers?
Okay.
It's Galaxy of Film here.
Hey, look, it's Tuesday. The movie came out Friday. Maybe not everyone has seen it.
Dude, this is Galaxy of Film. This is spoiler territory.
Forgive me for being considerate.
Okay.
So everything works out. Rocket gets saved. He comes back. Quill finally gets over his whole romantic issues with Gamora and starts to realize that he was just running away the whole time. It's a great emotional moment. Through line for his arc throughout all three films has been present. It wraps up well. It connects. And the same can be said for almost every single character here, except strangely enough, Gamora. But that's a whole thing we can get into later.
Okay.
But yeah, at the very end, everything kind of wraps up happily ever after. Everyone, ends up in a good place. So that's that's the recap for Guardians 3.
Yeah, man, that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And we get a little post-credit scene as well with Star-Lord eating some cereal back at home with his dad, or his grandpa on Earth, excuse me. And we get a little nice message saying the legendary Star-Lord will return. And, that's how we leave our Misfits, man. Our band of heroes we've had for almost 10 years now, which is wild to think about. This
go
ahead, Dakari.
You forgot about the first post-credit scene where we see it's Rocket, the girls, Adam Warlock, Osmo,
Kraglin.
Kraglin, and Groot.
Yeah, they're all there, thankfully. Almost like the King Groot stance, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely King Groot.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see, I'll admit. Before we start talking about our thoughts of Guardians 3, we haven't done an episode on Guardians 1 and 2, so really briefly, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on both of these. Dakari, let's go here and have you step up to the plate first, bro. What is your thoughts on Guardians 1 and then Guardians 2 following up?
Guardians 1 and Guardians 2. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, I think was a Marvel movie that definitely caught many people off guard. Because what it essentially is, it's really an 80s inspired sci-fi film, just with a bunch of Marvel characters that we're not used to seeing.
Mm.
It has that flair of films you'd see like Back to the Future or along the lines of Terminator, something like that, with James Gunn's humor and flair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And the soundtrack was just the icing on the cake, really. Like the playlist they chose, the song choices are just weirdly fitting for this specific type of universe. So I think Guardians of the Galaxy was one movie that just really kept people on board for more things to come involving the MCU. And I still think that's one of my absolute favorite MCU films. With Part 2 was great also, but I just think that a lot more drive should have been added to the script. I think a lot more time should have been given in the editing room in regards to finishing and polishing up the screenplay, because some parts of that movie do feel a little messy. And there's some derivative orientation in it as well. Like, essentially, like, the film feels a lot like The Empire Strikes Back, if you think about it.
Okay.
It's a lot like The Empire Strikes Back. So you get that template, and then you add the Guardians in it with the MCU motif and what has already been established by way of the Guardians. Put that all together, you get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So, that's really my only gripe with it, but it's still a very fun movie to watch. It still holds up. It's still one of the funnier movies in the MCU. So both movies I think are great, and it showed that, furthermore, that James Gunn was a force to be reckoned with when it comes to comic book films, period.
Okay, man, very strong feeling. See, I saw the first Guardians in theaters when I was a freshman in high school. Really enjoyed it, but for some reason, like, it never stuck with me too much. And then I didn't get a chance to see Guardians 2 in theaters at all. A lot of that, like, second half of, like, Phase 2 and early Phase 3 stuff, I just missed in theaters. Like Spider-Man Far From Home, or No Way Home. No, Jesus Christ. Spider-Man Homecoming.
It was Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming I didn't watch in theaters. Didn't watch Ragnarok. I didn't see Black Panther up until, because that was a February release, right? I think so, of that year.
Yeah.
Black Panther came out in February. I didn't see it up until, like, April, before Infinity War's dropping. You know, like, I was just not so deep in the Marvel for a little bit.
It's really a great time to be a Marvel fan.
It was a great time, because the stuff was good back then. But, Volume 2, I watched when it first came, like, the Blu-ray. I picked it up. And I had a lot of fun with it. Like, I like Volume 2 more than the first one, in my opinion. Like, it's a more laid back, it doesn't waste any time, like, picking up into the fun. I really like the banter back and forth, the relationship with Nebula and Gamora being explored. Like, that scene when Nebula is about to crash the ship just to kill Gamora is great. I love that whole bit. The twist of Ego being Quill's father is really cool, especially visually, with, like, the like, when Peter's in that whole zone and his eyes kind of focus back in. Love that.
The vertigo camera effect, too?
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's so cool. Like, Volume 2 is one of my favorite MCU movies, I think.
It's the sleekest of the MCU. Like, it is slick with its style. Like, it is having fun and knows it, and Gunn is just at his most, like, laid back.
Exactly, dude. And it's a gorgeous movie, too. It's stunning in 4K. Absolutely, man. But I don't know. We'll talk more about Volume 3, obviously, but I really like 2. 1 I enjoyed, but it wasn't, like, my favorite thing in the world, for sure. But, Alex, what were your thoughts, or that you remember, for Guardians 1 and 2? I don't know if you rewatched these at all.
So I actually saw them both in their runs.
Okay.
Back then, we still went all to the same theater to see the Marvel movies, and it's like a family thing. So I saw both of them in their original runs. I really loved Guardians the first time I watched it, and then I didn't watch it a lot. Same thing for Guardians 2. Like, I liked it when I first saw it, and then I just never rewatched it a whole lot. But I rewatched them recently, and they've aged like fine wine. They're two of the best things in the MCU. This entire trilogy is probably the best trilogy in the MCU.
Damn, hot take, bro.
I'm not gonna bring up that question.
It's one of,
because I kind of agree with Alex there. I kind of agree.
I would put this goes toe to toe with any MCU trilogy and outdoes, I'd say, probably all of them.
Really?
All of the trilogies. All right, well, give me some of the trilogies. I guarantee you, Ant-Man.
No, I'm just saying Iron because Man. A lot of people hold, like, Iron Man up to a stupid, ridiculous, like, pedestal. No. And I think the Iron Man movies are great, but my favorite trilogy personally is the Captain America trilogy.
That's got two great movies and one meh movie.
What? Dude, Captain America's so good.
Yeah, you talking about the first Avenger, right?
Trilogy there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the first Avenger was fine.
The real trilogy there is Civil War, is Age of Ultron, Civil War, and then Endgame. That's the real trilogy right there. When you really think about Captain America, that's the real trilogy there. It's you know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. That's okay.
Endgame has much more told from the perspective of Captain America, whereas Infinity, Iron Man has the majority of the screen time. Infinity War, Robert Downey Jr. was the co-lead of that movie with Josh Brolin.
Absolutely, 100% on that. Yeah,
like Chris Evans was definitely supporting there, but in Endgame he is co-lead with RDJ. So I mean, I definitely see how that works. But like, if we're talking strictly what it is called, Captain America: First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, that's the trilogy.
Okay, dude, and you got the comment section hyping you up too, Alex. Got 2 people over here cheering you on, bro. Damn.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Alex,
that's fair. That's a fair judgment.
Alex
What
coming
can I
in
say?
with the popular hot takes for once. Nice.
I'm usually right. You just don't like to listen to me.
Nah, I think I'd have to agree with him because other than Spider-Man or
Nah, the
Avengers,
Spider-Man compared to Guardians is nothing.
let me get to that. Let me get to that, bro. I was gonna say besides Guardians, Captain America, Iron Man, not even Avengers. Because I mean, Avengers they've been consistent as well, but they're 4 movies. The same thing with Thor. Thor's not even a film series, and that's 4 movies. Iron Man's not that good either compared to Guardians. Spider-Man, I'm looking at the list right now. It's just, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I have to agree with you.
Right.
As far as like,
also that Spider-Man trilogy, when you look at No Way Home, that third act really falls apart when you really think about it, because it fucking relies on nostalgia, and that's the problem with that third act. It relies on you being able to cheer on Tobey Maguire and Andy Garfield and forget about like how weak the plot really is. It's really relying on you to, yes, we got 3 Spider-Mans, yeah. Instead of
the whole movie is reliant on nostalgia.
Well, it's not up until like that last 20-30 minutes of it when you see Tobey Maguire. I remember when Tobey Maguire entered, the whole theater lost its mind.
Oh, they all screamed their fucking asses off. It was ridiculous.
Ooh, man.
Honestly,
I
think out of the trilogies, or excuse me, out of like No Way Home, I think No Way Home is a good Spider-Man movie, but it's a bad sequel to Far From Home. You know, it really takes the whole, like, picking up where you left off with the Mysterio stuff and Peter Parker being revealed and throws out the window. It's a good multiverse movie that just had to be, like, it's, like, written around Far From Home, in a sense.
It is.
I think No Way Home would be much more solid if it was the 4th Spider-Man film. If I had gotten a full movie digging into Peter, like, you know, having that issue of everyone knowing Peter is Spider-Man, and having him like deal with Mysterio's death and all that situation, I think 4 would have hit so much harder, honestly.
Yeah, in a way.
It was rushed.
I don't know. It's
you also gotta remember too that No Way Home and Multiverse and WandaVision were all shot out of order.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be WandaVision, and then Multiverse, and then Loki, and then No Way Home. It was supposed to be that. That was the order. But when the pandemic shut down, they had to like rewrite everything, and the writers didn't even know what the other writers were doing with their other characters. And I was just reading today that Wanda, the writers that were writing Multiverse didn't even get to see WandaVision because it wasn't even finished yet.
Yeah.
So that's why her whole character arc is all fucked up in Multiverse. It's like, what? That's why
it is a little weird.
Watching like a whole different thing. Like, did they even watch WandaVision? The answer is no.
I just want to say one thing in defense of Iron Man trilogy. All right,
okay.
Got one great movie, one good movie, and one meh movie. All right, none of them are strictly speaking bad.
Well,
no, they're not bad movies at all. It's the same thing with the
trilogy.
The only one that's got bad is Thor, and that's Dark World.
No, dude, the first Thor is awful.
No, the first Thor is fantastic.
The first Thor is a decent movie. The second Thor movie was not. Ragnarok is incredible. Love and Thunder. The more I watch that movie, the more it's just like, man, what was second
there?
I like to call that Love and Blunder. That's Thor, Love and Blunder.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Harold, what are your opinions on Guardians 1 and 2? I know we talked recently and you haven't had a chance to rewatch these two, but what are your overall thoughts on them from having watched them in the past?
Like, I don't remember the movies much in details, but Guardians of the Galaxy does give me a feeling that none of the other Marvel's movie does, because I guess when I go see different Marvel movies, I'm expecting epic action scenes. But when I go see Guardians, I get a sense of good storytelling and a lot of comedy too. So I get
Yeah, man.
feelings from that movies that I don't get from any other Marvel movies.
Okay. Okay. What about the
That's
Guardians
fine.
2? Do you have any specific memories or feelings about that one?
It's I don't really remember the two. I haven't had a chance to rewatch the two before three,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the two in general, and then
I
three.
got
The
you.
whole trilogy is really good. Mhm.
I got you, man. Okay.
I never really thought about comparing the trilogy with others, but when I do think about it, and I guess I am one of the ones who put Iron Man up high like that because I really like the Iron Man trilogy movies.
Mm-hmm.
But Iron Man, Spider Man, and Guardians are definitely my three top. I like Ant Man as a character, but the movies don't stack up to
Yeah,
you know.
dude. Quantumania is not that great.
The first Ant-Man movie I thought was
You can
pretty
ask my
good.
friends. I love Ant Man, but the movies just weren't what the hype was for.
I feel you. What were you
Mm,
saying, Dakari, about the trilogy?
no, I was just I was saying first back to the trilogy aspect. As far as the Iron Man trilogy goes, as far as the Captain America trilogy, which had two phenomenal movies, far as even the quadrant, Avengers, Thor, Ant Man trilogy back to that, like even compared to those series of films, Guardians of the Galaxy has been the most consistent, tone wise, character wise, arc wise, everything. Like compared, even Spider Man, like Homecoming was just decent. Far From Home was pretty good, and then No Way Home I thought was if you just if you don't think about it too much, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying. I thought it was great, but it's just like compared to those series of films, Guardians of the Galaxy has been the most consistent. And the fact that this is our first Guardians film since 2017, almost how many years ago was that? 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
Good lord! I remember seeing that when it came out. Either way, it's just like, man, the fact that we still getting consistency with these characters in the world is magnificent, and it's a testament to James Gunn and Kevin Feige. It's a testament to everything in that regard. So I mean, I have to agree with Alex on that. You're absolutely right. I just had to sit down and think about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah, man.
Okay. And before we start talking about Guardians 3, Johnny, what are your thoughts on the first two Guardian films?
I saw the first Guardians in the theater, and I took the family to go see the second one. I loved the first one. The first one just it didn't feel like a Marvel movie to me at the time.
No.
It just felt something different and something unique, and you could totally tell that this was James Gunn. This was a James Gunn movie. You know what I mean? And so it was a really breath of fresh air that the MCU needed at that time before it kind of got stale. And so I Guardians is one that I revisit most because I have a lot of fun with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good songs in there. There's a lot of good banter. The characters are very developed. Volume two, I didn't like as much, and it's interesting to me because I did a podcast a long time ago with a friend of mine, and he said
Mhm.
something to me that stuck with me. Is like this movie felt like a Star Trek movie with Marvel characters. When on the
Oh.
planet Ego, that's like, and I thought about
Okay.
it, like when you think about Star Trek episodes, when you think about Volume Two, it's kind of constructed like that. When they're
It
like
is.
out there rediscovering and searching and researching stuff like that, and it builds to that big revelation, and then Yondu,
Right.
that that Yondu thing hit me. Like I'm sure it hit
Oh
everybody.
yeah, that definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing too that both these movies had over the other Marvel movies that it had emotional weight behind every action. Up until that point, I didn't cry during Captain America. I didn't cry during Iron Man. You know what I mean? Guardians was the first Marvel movie that kind of cried at when Rocket's right there holding Groot, or when he says "We are Groot." A tear came down my eye. Like that's
That
emotional.
was that was
There's some emotional weight to that movie, especially in Volume Two. He was maybe your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That hit.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely
Yeah,
agree,
that's
man.
a funny line, but in context, that breaks you. You know, especially
Mhm.
for what he just did for Peter. You know,
Yeah,
so
man.
so yeah, the Guardians feel like the thing that Guardians have for them is that they exist outside of the main canon. They're
Okay.
out of space, so they have the luxury. James Gunn has that luxury of building this whole universe without even fucking with like Earth or whatever. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
he doesn't have to think about the overarching story. He can just make a singular storyline, and you see it culminate in Volume 3, which is
Mhm.
actually really.
Yeah, man.
Okay, man, I feel you. You're right though. The Yondo stuff, or Yondu, Jesus Christ, I said Yondo. The Yondu stuff hits, man. Absolutely. I thought it was great. I have my issues with James Gunn that I've talked about on the podcast before, but I do like Volumes 1 and 2 quite a bit. I think they're great rewatches, especially too. But I thought like Yondu's death was gonna be like influential as well. Like I really thought when Solo was coming out a year later that we were gonna get Kira to be killed on screen and sent off like Yondu. Like with the whole escape pod going off, I thought we were gonna get that treatment for Solo in Star Wars for some reason. But yeah, man, they hold up for sure. Yondu's definitely does, have some emotional weight for sure. And it was nice because of course we get that little cameo of Michael Rooker in Guard Volume 3, which is cool to see.
Always.
Let's go ahead and start talking about Volume 3. Alex, earlier you gave the recap, obviously, which we got some nice comments about too, hyping you up in the section, bro. But let's go ahead and talk about some things that we like about Guardians 3 right off the bat. Dakari, I want to hear some of your thoughts on this one first, bro.
Yeah, man. I love this movie. I really did. As far as this being the culmination to the Guardians of the Galaxy's overarching development over the course of almost 10 years now,
Mm.
this is this is a good finale. I think it's a really good finale, honestly. Um, just I would say I would the only complaints I do have with it is that it does feel a little messy because you constantly going back and forth between Rocket Raccoon's backstory and then having to go back to Adam Warlock and having to go back to Rocket and the High Evolutionary and Rocket and the Guardians. It's just a lot going on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes together.
But it was necessary though.
It was though. It's just a
Like-
little messy. That's really the only thing. Just a little bit.
All the momentum was lost for these people. All these people after the firing of James Gunn. Like that's why there was 6 years in between this. So I mean, it needed to go approach this from a different perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But that's just me. That's just personally.
I
That's
got
just how. Yeah, but overall, man, I think this was a great film. I like it as much as the second one, but really, like, as far as just this, as far as Marvel movies goes, as character studies, these three are incredible examples of great character studies when it comes to comic books. Because through each film, we actually get to know and kind of have a grasp on these characters the more we get along with each movie. And with Rocket, man, that shit hit home. His backstory was just, oh my god, it was actually kind of realistic because things like that actually happen today. And right now in society currently, like people use animals for all types of things. So seeing that kind of hit home and seeing how it made him to the person he was today while also still being on his what would have been his deathbed was just, oh god, it was white knuckled, it was heart pounding. The entire movie was just like that. And the High Evolutionary, people are saying that he's like the best Marvel villain since Thanos. I don't think so. I wouldn't compare him to Thanos, but he is, for this movie, he was great. For this specific movie, for the purpose he served, I think he really.
He was what Kang wanted to be.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Kang, like this guy was menacing. Like honestly, I feel like there's a way you could. I feel like there's a way you could make him like a Kang variant or something, and like work it out. Like he would be great as him. I know Max just internally hates Chuck Woogie for besmirching Peacemaker for him, and now he just has a crusade against him. But don't listen to Max. He's great in the movie. He's fantastic.
I was about to say,
he's really good in this.
I hate the High Evolutionary. Fuck this guy. I was so sick of seeing this dude on screen after Peacemaker. I'll be blunt, guys. I was gonna save mine for the end. I'm not a fan of Guardians Volume 3. I fucking hated this thing walking out of the movie theater.
Are you serious?
Yeah, straight up. I hated this one.
I'm curious to hear why.
Dude! Oh my god.
But
someone in the chat tell him that he's wrong. Like, come on now.
I just want to get to the point though where better than Thanos. I thought Thanos was probably was the biggest missed opportunity in the MCU.
That's not
They had the chance to really make him very dangerous and to really flesh out his backstory and to show him do more stuff in Infinity War. They were supposed to actually show a 15-minute invasion of him getting the Power Stone. Like, I would have loved to have seen that. Like, that's how that movie was supposed to open, but they didn't shoot it, which is unfortunate. I think when it comes to villains in the Marvel universe, they all have the same issues. They're all cookie cutters. Like, in Kang and Quantumanium, I did not buy that he was gonna hurt Cassie. I did not buy that. Like, he felt very cookie cutter. He didn't feel dangerous. He didn't feel menacing. When he walked in, I did not feel afraid of him. When the High Evolutionary walked in, I felt afraid.
I agree.
I felt afraid. You know what I mean? Like, I felt afraid. Like, this motherfucker was a sociopath. He gave no fucks, and he was gonna do whatever he wanted. You know what I mean? And he has more in common with cult leaders than he does with Marvel villains, and that's what's even more scarier to me.
Yeah.
The new colony, the new world, the new plane, those are trigger words for cult leaders to say that to their congregation. And what is he doing? He's perfecting people, species. And then, not only that, he's operating on species, then later on in the movie, he's operating on kids. So those sick experiments that he's doing on the pets and on the animals, he's doing to the kids.
Yep.
That is something that is just like, fuck, this guy is dangerous. And you did all that without showing us, without telling us, but you showed us. And that's what most villains need. They need to feel dangerous. Gore the Butcher should have felt that way, but he didn't.
I agree.
He didn't. You know what I mean?
That goes back.
It's Killmonger and High Evolutionary. Like, those are like the two prototype villains for the MCU.
I agree with you, man. I think High Evolutionary is written well, honestly, but I cannot fucking stand what's his fucking name, Alex?
Chuck Woogie.
Yeah, I can't stand him, bro. He pisses me off so much in Peacemaker. We had complaints talking about Black Adam and everything like that earlier in the DCU before. This just felt like everyone seeing James Gunn's buddies on screen, which was cool to a certain degree. You know, I feel like the Michael Rooker cameo was nice. I like that was a nice touch. But I couldn't fucking stand seeing this guy on screen, dude. It took me out of it completely. He was like my most hated character out of Peacemaker. I fucking hated him.
You said problems with Black Adam? No, never. That's not real. That's made up. Those are false. Those are false documents that got leaked. The Rock is innocent.
The Rock is innocent. He tried to save the DCU, bro. I'm proud of The Rock. Thank you, Dwayne. My service to you.
But it's just like, what was it? It was just like, yeah. Zuko, it's just like I was saying about the animal cruelty and how things like that actually happen today. The things you were saying about the High Evolutionary and how it's a cult leader, speaking about change, speaking about a new world, you know, these things actually do happen in real life. So the fact that we actually get that part of Rocket Raccoon's story just like really kind of landed. They really stuck the landing with the story. I really think they did. Dave Bautista is hilarious in this movie. This is by far the funniest Marvel movie I think since Thor Ragnarok. I was actually like laughing pretty hard in the theater, and I didn't laugh this hard since Thor Ragnarok. Like, this movie had me on the floor dying. It was hilarious. And I think this might be the most emotional MCU film since Avengers Endgame. It's close. Emotion wise, it's definitely the most since Avengers Endgame. That's just me. That's how I feel. And I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but there are some slight biblical references in the film as well. You know, when Star-Lord goes out into space and he's about to die, and you see Adam Warlock reach out to Star-Lord, reach out for his hand. It's almost like it's almost like God given life to Adam. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying? Yeah, and then the part where they actually free the animals out of the cages after, you know, Dave Bautista does his dad thing, blah, blah, blah. That's almost like Noah's Ark, if you think.
No, I
You
feel
know
you,
what I'm
dude.
saying? My brother and I went to go see this movie for my birthday yesterday, and my brother, he actually pointed that out. I'm like, really? That's actually a very accurate description. Like, I feel my brother, he's more of a gamer. But when we
Hmm.
go out to see movies, I really think he kind of starts picking up my cinephile tendencies and starts surprising me sometimes. I'm just like, dude, you know what you're talking about. But yeah, man, great movie, man. I had a great time watching it.
Okay, bro, I feel you. I feel you. There's parts I like about this, dude. I think the whole animal cruelty stuff with the high evolutionary is great. You know, not great that it's happening, but it's translated to screen very well. It's very emotional, very impactful. I like that it's more or less this whole sequence where Rocket's life is flashing before his eyes. I think it's great pacing back and forth to have Rocket step away from the team, but still have his presence be felt throughout the movie. I think that's all good stuff.
Exactly.
I love the Gamora and Star-Lord relationship in this. The theme of like falling out of love and struggling to move on and accept reality is pretty well done in this film. And I like those moments, but keyword, they're moments for me. It's not a throughout the whole movie thing. Despite just talking about it constantly, I don't feel that weight throughout the whole piece. I do like, you know, Groot's little transformation to this adulthood we've seen. I think that does pay off in the whole for as far as all the MCU films, his appearances go for sure. But yeah, man, there's I don't know. We'll get into my disappointments of this film later on, of course. But Harold, what are some of the things you really liked about Volume 3?
Um, I really do like how the whole movie was emotional based.
Mm.
I didn't like the higher the villain,
You said you
but
did
I
or you
didn't like him
didn't?
in a good. Yeah, I didn't, but in a good way.
Okay.
He's a good villain, but that's the reason I didn't like him. But
Mm.
I feel like that playing God and creating new life and all that that was pretty good. That was pretty good for him being a villain. So, but I still
Okay.
didn't like but in a good way. It just felt like I liked the movie, but this is what you're supposed to feel. You're not supposed to like the villain because of the stuff they do.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
really
That makes
good.
him a good
Mhm.
on-screen villain for sure.
Yeah, and then I do like the emotional back and forth with Rocket's background and then Star Lord's breakup. It's just switching between the two and watching how they deal with it it was a really emotional roller coaster. Really good movie.
Okay, man, I feel you. I feel you. And
Yeah.
Johnny, I want to hear some of your thoughts as well on Guardians 3.
You know, I saw this movie twice, and
Did
both
you?
times I walked out of the
Oh, wow.
theater with tears in my eyes. It's like
Yeah.
I went back and back to go take. I took my lady to go see it last night. We had our date night, so we went to go see it, and yeah, man, we cried. It's just this movie really hits on an emotional toll on everything. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's interesting when you see this movie back. I try to go back because I did an initial review for it, and it was just like a raw reaction, a raw emotional reaction to it, rather than me just like reviewing this movie. So I went back and tried to look at it from like a different perspective and see if I can review this movie like non-emotionally. But no, because I was still emotional after this movie, so like, god damn, I gotta take a breath. But at first when I saw this movie, I didn't care for the songs, but then when I go back and watched it and listen to the songs and
Oh
realize
yeah.
what the songs are saying, yes, like every song matches what is going on in the story. You know, that is so great because I love when directors take the time to like place the right song for the right moment, and it just enhances the scene. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just so every song there's a theme, and the theme within that song is playing out on screen.
Yeah.
And I just love that shit. So the Beastie Boys hallway scene, I fucking marked out for that. No Sleep Till Brooklyn in the hallway. That was hard. I thought
that was incredible. That was incredible.
I thought that was dope. I thought that was a really good moment for all of those Guardians to get there. But yeah, I think this movie was so great. High Evolutionary is a monster. He's not a villain that you can empathize with. He's just a monster through and through. And I love that. I hate when movies try to humanize our villains. Like, I don't want my villain to be humanized. Like, my villain needs to be a fucking piece of shit. I need to hate someone. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be able to empathize with our villain. Like, I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, we empathize with Homelander, but we shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't. You shouldn't empathize with Omni-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, but there's nothing redeemable about this character, which I love. And this is Gunt's last movie under the Marvel banner. And you know what?
Yeah.
Look the fuck out, because he's got some shit planned for DC. And I think he's the guy to do it. So, you know,
Okay, man.
Yeah, I think this is probably the second best movie I've seen this year.
Wow, that's a hot fucking take.
Yeah, it's probably the second best movie I've seen this year. And, you know, I thought this movie was going to rely so much on my emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't rely on my emotions. It just takes you on a ride, and then you just get emotional. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't rely on you being emotional and crying. It's actually telling you a very thoughtful story that you're invested in, because 16 years and like 4 movies in a special, like, you're invested with these characters. You want to see them make it through this. You want to see Rocket make it through it. You know, so yeah, I thought this was a great movie, man. Honestly.
Okay, man. I feel you. I'm hearing it. Damn, I have one rebuttal real quick for you, though, dude. And we'll use this to start getting into our things we didn't like about the film. I'm a massive Beastie Boys fan. You know, I've been very vocal about this. You know, the Beastie Boys are what got me into hip-hop. That and Biz Markie and Dakari. You know all about that story, of course. R.I.P. to the Diabolical. Huge Beastie Boys fan. I'm so much of a Beastie Boys fan that, like, I did a parody mashing up their concert video. Awesome, I fucking shot that. And with Weird Al. And I titled it License to Al. Like, I fucking love the Beasties, man.
Oh, wow.
And when I was watching the Mario movie a few weeks ago, and Harold can attest to this, he was on the episode. When No Sleep Till Brooklyn came on during the Mario movie, I chanted. I was fucking happy. When it came on to this, I don't know what the fuck I was hearing, honestly. There's this weird skip, like, within the song I noticed, too. And it just bugged me and felt so lazy. Where, like, in the middle of a lyric, it just cuts and stops. And it drags to a different point in the song. Just so the pacing adds up. It's like, why? Say again?
A lot of movies do that.
I think he curses there, that's why.
For a movie,
a lot of movies do that in general, though. Like, if you even Marvel comic book movies, a lot of movies do that.
I guess, dude. It just felt lazy.
I don't know.
You're probably saying that because that song is dear to your heart. That's probably why. Because they've done that before in the last two Guardians movies with a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Or maybe this one in particular was just bad. Maybe that's how you feel.
Wait, say that part again, Harold?
Or maybe, you know, he's right. They do this in a lot of movies and Marvel movies. But maybe this scene was just particularly bad for you.
Yeah, it was just particularly bad for me, man. Like, it was cool hearing the Beastie Boys. It was like, I just heard this on screen a month ago in a better movie.
What was the sequence? Because I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to listen to see if you heard a skip. Because I don't remember hearing a skip. If
I don't remember
a skip either. Or if you're talking about, like, they skip a bar and then they go into, like, the bridge. Is that what you're talking about?
I believe so. They skip a couple bars.
They skip a bar and then they go right to the bridge toward the end, right?
Yeah, it sounds funky, man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that didn't bother me.
Fine.
I don't know, it didn't bother me so much, but I get what you're saying because I feel like that too with certain movies that use certain music and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, seriously, like at least be a little bit better, have a better ear of like trying to make it transition a little bit better.
Right.
You know, I get what you're saying. Like I understand.
Yeah.
Like the transitioning did not match. That.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it didn't, man. It didn't.
If you want to look like a really good transition, look at the church scene in Kingsman because they use Freebird. And
perfect example.
The transition from the organ up into the solo is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they didn't do that very well. But yes, I see what you mean.
No, absolutely, man. That's you see where I'm coming from with that as well. Glad you can recognize it. But it was just a disappointment for me, man. Like, not only is because I just heard it in the last fucking Chris Pratt movie I just watched a month ago, but like, I just want to see it done justice. You know, the Beastie Boys were a group that they didn't allow their music to be used for commercials or films or anything like that for a long time. And it's kind of odd to see them just now starting to do this. And even now they're doing it, there's still issues. We saw a few years ago when that Schwarzenegger movie came out, Sabotage. Dude was almost sued for using Sabotage in the trailer. And now with even Marvel as well.
They took that trailer down, I think.
They did, man. Yeah. And now with Marvel as well, with The Marvels, which comes out this November, that had Intergalactic in the trailer. When you watch it in theaters, they remove all the lyrics from Intergalactic, just the hook. It's really funky and takes me out of it for sure. You know, I guess it's my fault for being a Beastie Boys fan or whatever and noticing those details, but damn, it's weird.
If they would have done that with like, let's see, we should have to throw a group out there like the Korn song, right? If they had did that with a Korn song, like, yeah, I probably would have felt the same way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I get where you're going. I get the minute criticism, like I do. Trust me, I get it.
I'm glad you can recognize me. Yeah, man, it's weird for sure. I have more gripes about that, of course. We're gonna start getting more into it, of course, with that. But Dakari, I want to hear some of your gripes first, because you're more positive about this piece. I want to be able to, like, not tear you guys down individually, but I want to be able to rebuttal you guys back and forth.
Yeah, it's just like, I do think it's...
What the Dakari, what is going on, dude? Is someone dying over there?
No. She's just getting... It's alright. But, yeah, it's just like, I do love this movie. I do think this is a great movie. You know, as far as, you know, finalizing and culminating the world of the Guardians. Great. As a whole it is. But it's just like, I do feel that the movie is a little bit messy, you know? Like, it just fluctuates from one point to another. It goes back and forth between backstory and High Evolutionary and Guardians and Gamora, and it's quite a bit going on. You can really pay attention and sit down and catch up. It's a lot happening in the movie, but it's all for the better because you know it's for a good reason. Even if it feels a bit disjointed at times, you know, that's really only my big gripe with the movie. Other than that, man, I think this is great. I couldn't have asked for a better finale, even though I do have some gripes with it. I still think this is a really good film.
Okay, man. Okay. I'm gonna hit you guys another disappointment of mine real quick. I think the biggest thing for me that really sets me and takes me out of this movie is the marketing. You know, we've been very vocal about who's on the podcast, about who we think is going to die in this film, or who's leaving and whatnot. And I think that had a huge impact on me with this one. I despise fake out deaths in marketing. Especially, I think the most blatant one is also a film I just referenced earlier, Solo. In the trailer where they had the fake out Chewie death when he almost gets hit by the train for the whole heist thing in the beginning of the film. Hated that bit. Go ahead.
You cut out there. You cut out. What was the death?
Oh, for Guardians or for the other film?
A fake out death. You hate fake out death, and that was the last thing I...
Oh, I got you. I hate fake out deaths in marketing, dude. I think it's just a lazy way to get viewers in. Like, yeah, it works, I guess, so congrats to you for getting butts in the seat, but, like, it does nothing for me. It just pisses me off as a viewer. Chewie's little fake-out death in Solo, if the trailer pissed me off. And the
one that pissed me off.
What was
Nick
that?
Fury, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, dude, that's bullshit.
That pissed me off. I was like, are you serious? You blatantly show him right there covered up.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's annoying,
Again,
dude.
yeah.
It's annoying. Gosh. But, yeah, man. The marketing for this, like, almost banking on everyone thinking Rocket was going to die, and the quote-unquote plot twist that Rocket doesn't die, didn't do anything for me, for whatever reason. You know, I think the scenes were emotional and had impact because it was that flashing life before your eyes sequence. I think if the film was edited differently, it wouldn't have had any weight for me at all, honestly. I love the reunion of him coming up to Lyra at the end of this, like when they're having a chance to see each other before Rocket, you know, comes back to life for a moment. But overall, like, everything else about it just does not hit for me. Because every poster was Rocket, like, focused. Every bit of it. Yeah, man. It was a funky feeling for sure. But, Harold, what are some of your gripes of Volume 3? Did you even have any? Because you're our most positive person on the podcast, dude.
I did not actually. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. I didn't find myself disliking anything about the movie or finding anything that I was like, seriously? I just had fun. I had my laughs. Enjoyed the movie.
Dang.
Barely cried for 15 minutes.
You cried for how long?
No, I didn't cry at all. I was just exaggerating.
No, I got you, bro. I got you.
Oh, yes. Are you not crying at this movie?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry, but I almost did. Like, there were a few scenes that just had me in a chokehold. Like the scene where Rocket was trying to help everybody escape when he made that card. When he found out that the High Evolutionary was gonna do what he was gonna do, and he just kept demeaning Rocket, say, "Oh, you're not meant to be here," blah blah blah. It's like he just took matters into his own hands, and then when they named themselves, it was Rocket, it was Lila, it was Floor, and what was Beast? Yeah. And then right when Lila was free, you turn around and you see the High Evolutionary shot Lila from the back, and she just dies very slowly. And then when Rocket let out that angry ass cry, that just that had me in the chokehold, man. That was possibly one of the most emotional scenes I've ever seen in a comic book movie, period. That hit.
I think that scene in particular does hit. You're absolutely right. That Lyra's death is very unexpected.
Yeah.
100%.
Because that actually felt real. You actually felt like that came from a deep place of just anguish. It was perfect.
I feel you, man. Alex, I want to hear, because you stepped away for a second, and this is tying into my second question too. You stepped away for a moment to go grab yourself a little popsicle. Our chat number one wants to know what flavor popsicle you had, buddy.
You cut out there, man.
Oh, what flavor popsicle did you have, pal?
Grape and strawberry.
Okay. Terrible flavors. What, dude? You like grape, Johnny? Come on, dude.
Hey, Blue Raz is great. Blue Raz is a great popsicle.
It's all about that lime, dude. There you go.
Right? Yeah, no, grape and blue, purple and blue. Boom.
There you go,
dude. Okay.
Johnny got it right.
Johnny, no, dude. It's about blue and green and orange.
If you're the guy that goes straight for the orange one, bro, I don't trust you. Just saying.
We're gonna talk later on off fucking camera, Johnny.
You just insulted Max's religion. Anything orange is like Max's thing. Like, he loves orange.
Yeah, no wonder you guys like Guardians 3. You like the great popsicles.
You know what? I feel like this movie is made for people who like great popsicles, and I feel like that's okay.
And speaking of that, Alex, that leads to our segue for this. What are some of your positive thoughts of Guardians 3? Now that you're back, you had a little popsicle to freshen yourself up with. What are your thoughts on it? Like some of the positive things.
I feel like this does everything that Phase 4 of the MCU is trying to been doing. It's fun. It's darker. It is like this movie honestly prepares audiences for R-rated MCU projects. Like in terms of the violent content, this is the most violent MCU film yet. It is incredibly dark at times. It sucks the hope out of the room. Like the High Evolutionary has that ability, especially with the flashback scenes, just to take any semblance of hope out of the room. It's a very captivating thing to watch on screen, just to see that emotion just be taken away. Especially during the scenes with Lila, and that scene in the trailer of them hugging, and then you see what actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's the type of reverse surprise that is good for a trailer. I feel like it's incredibly shot, very well edited. Like it balances. I never felt like it was rushed, and I never felt the runtime. It does not feel 2.5 hours. It feels like a quick 2 hours, and that just shows you how great James Gunn is at pacing.
I agree.
I really like the way it wrapped up everyone's story. Drax, his arc. You don't really notice it until this movie, but there's enough callbacks, and quite frankly, there's enough sitting time to where you can start to go back and think like, wait a minute, hold on, he's been laying the seeds for this from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Like there's moments in Guardians 1 that show Drax where he is now. Like that was always within him. Like this whole story, like he had an arc. Like Nebula's arc has been more explicit because she's had more screen time.
Yeah.
But like some of the Guardians that kind of got played for comic relief, even they had arcs. Like Mantis had one. Kraglin had one. And he started out as a very minor supporting character from the first film.
I was about to say, actually, dude, I've met Sean Gunn. I'm going to pull up a picture for our viewers real quick, too.
Oh, you lucky. You lucky man.
For real?
So go ahead and keep talking about Kraglin, buddy.
Yeah, my point being is like every character feels like they got what they deserved. And it never feels overstuffed, and it doesn't feel like fan service. It's like, yes, is there great action sequences? Absolutely. Are there some of the most beautiful images in the MCU in this movie? Absolutely. Do I think that, the final wrap-up of Peter Quill's storyline, like the way that they ended that, I have a slight issue with that. That kind of goes into my gripes.
Okay.
I feel like his story was affected the most by Gamora dying in Infinity War.
Yeah.
This movie seems to be entirely affected by that one action. Like her being dead seemed to screw up the entire story of Guardians 3. So it's probably good that there's 6 years in between hand, because Gunn had the time he needed to, make a story that was savable from the Russo's mess.
So, well, the thing is about that, I just want to offer a rebuttal about that, is that Gunn knew ahead of time that Gamora was dying, because Zoe Saldana said that she didn't want to be stuck playing this character for a long time. The irony is that she's being stuck playing another character in Avatar for another 4 or 5 years. So,
but that's paying her a lot more money.
Yeah, I guess so, right? So Gunn knew about that. He just didn't like how they treated Star-Lord, and there was a lot of continuity errors with the mask and the jacket, stuff like that. When all that stuff got ruined in Volume 2, the Russos just wanted it to have it. And so that's one of the biggest complaints that I've seen on TikTok. It's like, oh, where did his mask go? Where is this and that? Well, didn't you not watch Volume 2? You lost that shit already. Like, come on.
The dynamics. The Russos did getting rid of Gamora though during Infinity War. Like, if you got rid of it during what Gunn originally planned to do during Volume 2, I feel like that would have made more sense, because we would have sacrificed herself for Quill instead of going off, dying, Quill not even knowing what's going on until it's too late. Like it just felt messy. But I understand that Gunn also kind of had to just come in and deal with the fallout. So
the fallout.
The fallout of what happens in Infinity War and Endgame, he just had to come in and adapt to that. He didn't really have the kind of the freedom that he had during 1 and 2.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
That's fair.
But it's still it's a great Marvel film. It is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that's the best way I can describe this. It's the first great Marvel film in a while.
Oh yeah.
It's it's up there with some of the best of the MCU.
Okay.
And I think, and knowing Gunn's movies that age well, like not just his Marvel stuff, his weird stuff ages great.
There.
Like his early weird stuff, fantastic to watch later. So I think Slither, Tromeo and Juliet, Super. If you're really wanting to put yourself through something in an evening, watch Super. You won't feel great. You won't feel great afterwards. But
amazing, dude. That's the one with Ray Wilson, right?
It's nuts. It's a fantastic movie, but you're not going to feel great afterwards.
No.
You're not going to feel like donning the tights and going to go hit the streets to fight justice.
No.
I feel like the movie that like Kick-Ass wanted to be.
Oh no, that movie's in a whole other realm of awesome. But we're not getting into that. We're here to talk about space.
I'm just saying though, like, because Super and Kick-Ass, they're there, but I feel like Super is just a little bit better than Kick-Ass. That's just mine.
Super's grimier. That's why a lot of people like it more. It's a lot dirtier than Kick-Ass. So, but we're talking Guardians, all right? Let some.
I was about to say, dude. They you get the chat over here blowing up here. They want us to talk about ET next, apparently.
All right, hold on. We can connect this to Guardians. I guarantee it. We can connect it to Guardians if we try hard enough.
Oh boy, dude. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and start talking about a couple more gripes we got going on. Johnny, do you have any gripes off the top of your head with this piece?
What's that? You cut out again.
Do you have any more gripes of Guardians 3?
I can't really think of one offhand. I really didn't have any gripes with it. I thought this was a perfect send off, and I guess the Star-Lord thing kind of bothered me too, but that's just gonna have to be like a wait and see thing and see what they do with Star-Lord. So to me, I was like, yeah, I didn't like that, but that's more of a wait and see kind of thing now. So we'll see what happens with that character if Chris Pratt even returns. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I really didn't have any gripes with it. I thought this is like Alex said, it's probably the best Marvel movie in a long time. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Damn. Well, I guess I'm the last one to have some more issues with this piece. I think the biggest thing I absolutely hate about this is Star-Lord. I think Star-Lord reminds me of what Mike from Stranger Things turned into. Kind of a bitch. I like the whole failed love, falling out of love, trying to struggle to move on theme in this. I do. But god damn, just seeing him sulk and drink for the first opening sequence is annoying as hell. He just felt disconnected from the other films, more or less, dude.
Okay.
Truly. I didn't watch the holiday special, so maybe that would have amplified my viewing experience of this or whatever, but
there's really not any character growth for him, honestly. There's just only the big revelation that, he's related to Mantis. Other than that, there's no inkling of him drinking or being a drunk or being depressed. I mean, there is, he's sad because of Gamora, but it's not to the extent of what we see him in the first part of the movie.
Yeah, man, it just feels like it's coming out of left field almost as well, especially when we're in real time at the MCU at this point. We've already seen them in Ragnarok, and he's fucking fine, it feels like. It's been years since Infinity War and Endgames happened, even in canon at this point. It isn't as believable for me, for whatever reason.
That's actually true. You're right, because even at the beginning of Love and Thunder, he doesn't come off as a drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right about that.
Fair.
It's a little funky, dude. I will say, though, I love the stuff with Drax in this film. You're right, Alex. I do like his arc, his whole ability to be a lover instead of the destroyer, basically. When, Mantis is giving him that whole speech about how he's not meant to be a destroyer and he's meant to be with the kids, I think that's great, dude, and that is a great arc as well.
It's even simpler than that, though. It's even simpler than that. It's just the idea of fatherhood.
Yeah.
That's something Gunn is obsessed.
was stolen from him essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a second chance of being a dad, and you see him dancing with the kids, and it's an awesome moment because you want to see him be a father.
But he's had to go through that maturity to get that ability to be a dad again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something Gunn's obsessed with in general. Like the new Superman movie, it's going to be like fatherhood is huge within every single one of Gunn's films.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. Well,
I think he understands the subject and he does it. He executes it really well.
That's fair, bro. I don't know, man.
This has to say about his father or him expecting to be a father. So I'm curious to see because there's a personal connection there that you would have to write.
He had
flesh that fatherhood out. You know what I mean?
His story that he's been saying is like his dad was the reason he got into comics. So he had a very close relationship with his father, and his father passed away some time ago, like a couple of years, I think, maybe.
Yeah, kind of recent though.
But his dad, like, they had a very special relationship. So the idea of fatherhood, being a good father, has always like been something in his movies, especially with these Guardians movies.
Yeah, I mean, you clearly with Yondu, from Guardians 2.
Oh
absolutely.
Gosh, that is the greatest father-son movie ever. Like that is the Father's Day movie you watch.
It is kind of a Father's Day movie, you're right, actually.
That is the Father's Day movie right there. Celebrate being a dad.
Go ahead and have yourself a nice Father's Day viewing special. Guardians 2 and Daddy Longlegs.
That's crazy.
That is demented.
Father's Day from Trump.
That is wrong.
Oh my gosh.
That's emotional abuse, Max. That's emotional abuse.
Oh man. Let's go ahead and start talking about like ratings for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Dakari, I'm putting you up on the plate first, bro. What do you rate this?
With all that being said, and with all the gripes that you have, only with it being a bit messy, I give this a best spin. A very strong best spin. I think this is a great film. I did love it. I did love how everything was wrapped up. I love Rocket Raccoon's backstory. Very effective. It's the funniest Marvel movie I've seen since Ragnarok. It's the most emotional I've seen since Endgame, and Endgame is literally the only Marvel comic book movie that I actually cried at watching, so that says something. I actually legitimately almost broke down crying watching this movie. Yeah, man, it was just... Besides my gripes, I do think that this is a very effective movie and a great movie for this character in general.
Okay, man. Coming out of the theater for this thing, this is a surprise. I'm surprised no one's mentioned this. I thought Adam Warlock was absolute bullshit in this. I thought he was a huge...
I actually wanted to ask that question. I'm so glad you brought that up. What's everyone's thoughts about that?
I didn't mind Warlock at all. I didn't mind him at all. I thought it was really cool and funny.
I loved it. I thought it worked perfectly. Like Will Poulter's comedic timing was perfect.
Yeah,
like the whole it's starting to blow up on TikTok, but the "Don't be rash" thing.
That shit is
I lost it during like some of his lines. Like, and also he's like the coolest entrance.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like his entrance.
Like when he first came in on the layer of the ship, and he starts flying in and boom, hits Rocket. Bro, that was a great
dude. Warlock's gonna play a role. He's gonna have, especially with the cosmic way the MCU is going, and like the presence of the Fantastic Four is about to be pretty big.
Shang-Chi.
Warlock. Well, Shang-Chi isn't. Is he?
He's not necessarily cosmic, but
yeah,
kind of goes.
How the rings will probably be involved in cosmic powers or quantum, which seem to be the two that they're focusing on. So we'll see. But the Guardians, where they are at the end of this, are still set up for what's to come. Just not in the traditional sense. Like, I mean, whoever takes over next is going to have to understand these characters through and through. Otherwise, it won't fly.
I thought he was bullshit, dude. I fucking hated him.
Oh,
Well, that's just because you don't know how to have fun anymore, Max.
No, dude, he's just a
Shazam
fucking
feels-
waste of a goddamn character. Adam Warlock in the whole Mother arc, if you can call it that, it's a fucking B plot line, more like a D tier, honestly, in this movie.
Look, we get it.
the
Shazam 2 hurts you.
No, dude, it's the only connection for this being a sequel to 2, in my opinion. And it's just bullshit. I'd rather have just been left out completely. Why wasn't Adam Warlock in the fucking holiday special, dude? That's what it should have been, because that's all he's worth, in my opinion. Will Porter was horribly cast. I know he made a whole comment saying it was already not worth being in the MCU because of the physical conditions he was put under. And he talked about that like a year ago, man. And I'm fucking glad he did. I hope we don't see him again. I hope he gets out of his contract, because his character was dog shit.
Bro.
I fucking hated him.
Fucking going the fuck in on him, bro. Holy shit.
He's awful in this,
it
bro.
wasn't that bad, bro. It was not that bad.
Did you hit him on Shameless too or something? Like, did he hurt you on Shameless? Like,
It was not that bad.
Jeez,
Look,
Harold,
Max,
hold on real quick. I want to hear Harold's thoughts on Adam Warlock. How would you like him, buddy?
I didn't know nothing about him, so it was pretty cool.
yo.
Only the best here, Galaxy of Film. Only the best here.
Oh no, where'd Harold go?
Jesus.
I'm still here.
Johnny, what did you think about Adam Warlock?
I personally didn't mind it. Like, I thought it was good. Honestly, in doing some research on Warlock, and he's probably he's the most powerful cosmic being out there. He's on the level of Superman and Omni-Man and Homelander. He's like that type of power. So I understand why you had to mentally dumb him down, because if he is a kid in a man in a god's body, he's gonna act like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the only way you can give the Guardians a fair chance at defeating him. And so I didn't mind it. Also, there's a really great line by the High Evolutionary when he talks to the Sovereign. It's like, I made you for aesthetic purposes, but it seems like I lacked in the intelligence department, which means he purposely made the Sovereign stupid. Mm-hmm. He made them all dumb. And so I just thought that was like a really good point. I think that's like a very underrated line that a lot of people didn't pick up on, because I see a lot of people complaining about Adam Warlock why'd you make him dumb? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? I'm like,
that's the point.
It's in story, in the like, I get it, in comics it doesn't fly. But in the movie, in the story that they're telling, it has to fly. Because realistically, those Guardians do not stand a chance up against a comic book accurate Warlock. Like, they don't. He wipes the floor with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Easy. He doesn't have to break a sweat. So I understand why they had to dumb him down. So to me, I liked the performance. I thought it was good. It balanced being a kid and being able to be mature enough. And then you kind of see him mature toward like that first post-credit scene, which I thought was really great. But yeah, I got on my soapbox a little bit, but it was just kind of bugging me when I saw people talking about that. I was like, no, dude. The High Evolutionary made the whole civilization stupid on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So just, you know what I mean?
That's the point, bro.
I understand he's supposed to be dumb, but like I don't mind him for that. I think his
like TikTok land.
No, I get that. Yeah, I absolutely get that. What I'm saying is, I think it's a good idea to have him as a dumbed down character. It all makes sense though, but the way I think he's written poorly. I don't think he's funny as a dumbed down character. You know, I just don't. I don't know what it is about it, man. Nothing with him landed for me. Every joke he made, or every just line he said, felt like I was a pause from like a sitcom moment. Like it's just a pause for a laughter, like insert here moment. That's what everything with him felt like, and I hated that.
Someone should edit like all his scenes and put a laugh track on it.
Maybe then I'll fucking like it more, dude. Like I said, he should have been the holiday special. He should have been, man. Gosh.
Still hibernating his cocoon, so he wasn't ready yet.
Apparently, yeah, dude. That was another thing. I wish we could have seen him come out of the cocoon, because you're supposed to expect me to just believe this man's searching for the Guardians for how many fucking years?
Well, it's supposed to be implied that they just took him. that he's been looking for them for a long time. So it's implied that they just took him out. He was supposed to stay in for another couple of years.
Yeah. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. But Dakari, you gave this a Bespin. I gotta be honest, when I walked out of the theater, I fucking hated this. I'm gonna give this 2 ratings, honestly. I think this movie has a lot of potential, and I think this movie does a lot of really bold and really cool things that you don't see a lot. Like, the horror aspects in this are insane. Seeing, like, the High Evolutionary's face come off, I was not expecting for this to get that graphic. And if we were to ever see... What'd you say?
That was some Raiders of the Lost Ark shit.
Kind of, bro. If we were to ever see, like, a New 52 DC adaptation, I hope we get as graphic of Joker's face being ripped off as we did in that. You know? Right. I think it's really cool to see. But this movie just did not stick the landing for me, for however reason. I think this movie... I'm going to give this movie a Naboo for what it is. But personally, this gets a Hoth. Maybe I need to rewatch it, and I was telling Alex today about that, actually. I almost want to go see this a second time, so I can hopefully see what everyone else sees. But unfortunately, I just don't. You know?
Drinking that beer.
Fair enough, man.
I'm telling you. Holy shit.
Fair enough.
I didn't have fun with this one, bro. I laughed twice during this, and one of those times was hearing Chris Pratt say "fuck" on screen. That was a great first fuck in the MCU. I'll give him that. That was pretty funny.
But... the first fuck should have belonged to Captain Marvel when she like crashed when she was in Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I remember that.
That should have been the first fuck, honestly. That would have been great.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was just not a hit for me, unfortunately. It's one of the weaker trilogies. You know, I love Captain America. It's definitely my favorite. Probably Spider-Man second, Iron Man third. This is fourth for me. Alex, let me hear your ratings for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I love this. If you couldn't already tell, the Florence and the Machine needle drop is probably one of my favorite needle drops of the entire MCU. It was perfectly timed, borderline tear-inducing, and for now, just because I want to make sure that this does age well, because I'm going to be honest, I could see this being the Batman for this year for me. Like, it's in my top 5 of the year.
Wow.
And it'll probably be number 1 or 2 for now, but for now it's going to get it's getting I'm forgetful. Bespin.
Okay,
I'm old.
man.
I'm forgetful.
So Bespin is a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, Bespin's a 4 out of 5, but I'm gonna be honest, it could go to a Coruscant. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, strong words for you, man. I'm gonna follow up for end of the year for you, Mr. End of the Year video. I gotcha.
Hey, that's all good. It's gonna be hey, the music is gonna be making an appearance multiple times. I'm using multiple songs from this movie in the video for next year.
Thank you, bro. That was one other thing I forgot to mention. I fucking hated the music in this. There wasn't a single song in this I felt that matched well. I think the opening credits bit with Rocket just moping around is bullshit.
So you had left, Alex, and I had said too on the first viewing, I wasn't a fan of the music either. I wasn't a fan of it either.
See,
on first viewing, on second viewing, I'm listening to something and digging into the lyrics of the songs. Like, I understand why those songs are played different. So on first viewing, I didn't like it either because I was like, man, this probably be the weakest. I think Volume 2 is probably the weakest soundtrack, honestly. I gotta rewatch Volume 2. I haven't seen it since opening weekend, so I might need to go back and reassess that Volume 2.
Okay. I feel it, man. Dang. Harold, what is your rating for Volume 3?
I think it had great action, great comedy, great emotion, great storytelling. I'm gonna give it the Croissant Planet. That one.
Croissant.
Oh, so you're gonna give it Croissant? You're gonna give it 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Your comment section is going super wild.
Yeah, look at the comment section blowing up over here. Look at some great stuff saying they wish they could watch this with their father. We need some ET and alien conversation going. People asking when we live stream. Great, what a fucking great comment section.
I already know which friends our minds are saying what. Just especially that whole father comment. I know exactly who said that. I don't even have to check.
Great comments this week, guys. Great comments. But Johnny, what is your rating for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Take us home here, man.
85Z, so that's a Coruscant.
Damn.
Like I said earlier, this is probably the second best movie I've seen this year. I'll stick by that. I've seen a lot of movies this year. And this movie made me cry twice. So, yeah, it's not a movie that really relies on your emotion. It just takes you. It tells you a very well told story, and it makes you cry. So, yeah, it's like watching The Land Before Time. You know what I mean? And crying during that fucking movie, or watching The Never Ending Story and crying during that movie. Volume 3 is gonna be up with those movies. You know what I mean? You want to make your kids cry? Show them this fucking movie.
Oh. You couldn't have shown me this when I was growing up watching movies like Land Before Time or Never Ending Story. You could have shown me this. I would have been. My mom would have turned the movie off, and I'll be crying so bad.
Man, Brave Little Toaster. Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound is great.
The Bear.
Watership Down.
Homeward Bound is incredible. That's how I was. That and Stuart Little were how I was introduced to Michael J. Fox, actually.
Yeah.
Stuart Little, really?
Stuart Little. Not even Back to the Future, yeah, man. Just straight Stuart Little.
Nice.
That's the mouse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the best here at Galaxy of Film, guys.
That's a fun movie.
Oh, yeah, they're great, dude. Stuart Little 2 is awesome. The little fucking plane and the bird. So good.
I haven't seen 2.
That's so good.
God, that's probably like the best one.
So good, bro. So good. Guys, Dakari, I think I'm just going to wrap it up for this week, bro. Real sick one, buddy. Real sick one. You're supposed to come in with a little swoop as the co-host, pal. Like Danilo does.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. You know.
The String Pros, like, wait. Is my internet
It's been a while, man. But yeah, it's really been great, you know, being here, participating with you guys on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's been a while. You said nothing else.
Bro, who is screaming over there, man? Someone earlier commented saying they think someone's getting a spanking, and I think it's right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness gracious, bro.
Spanking?
Someone's getting fucking spanked over in the island of Dakari over there, bro.
I don't know.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, Jesus! Harold's over here with the fucking kinkiness over here, dog.
I didn't mean it like that. Like, I meant like, okay, cool.
Nah, Harold, we got you, bro. You like being spanked, bro.
Switch the topic. Change the subject.
This is off topic. And my friends are probably going to ask me that when I get off, too.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Alex, bro.
Boss.
Jesus Christ. Alex, dude, it's been great getting you on here, obviously, man. You're with us for so much going on in the future. We're shooting a film next week, Distinguished. We're very excited to release this piece. We also shot Like a Surgeon together a few months ago. Where can our listeners find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at AWReams. That's AWREAMS. And my website, alexanderwreams.com.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
And behind the camera for a bunch of Galaxy Film projects.
That's right, buddy. That's right, bro.
I'm going to follow you on Letterboxd, my guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. Letterboxd. We need to keep putting those out there. Letterboxd stuff's great.
Most definitely,
bro. I use Letterboxd more than any social media, and it's probably where I make the most sense. So
that's not.
And it's fun to read your reviews.
Jesus Christ,
Really
buddy.
fun to read them. I like reading your reviews.
Sweet,
Yeah,
bro.
I think I just.
I'm not even kidding. I get a DM every time I have a new article drop and Harold sees it. Like, this man is on it and he is reading.
Yeah?
He be reading. He's reading.
Harold be reading, bro. Harold also be getting spanked, bro. So, Harold, I need to know where our listeners...
no.
No, I don't know nothing about
you.
that.
Because you can't wait to get in, dude. No?
Harold, where can our listeners find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Gamer Harold. You can also find me at YouTube on Gamer Harold on my gaming channel. And then I have a second channel where I do taste tests with my friends at Harold Dyson Entertainment.
Hell yeah, man. Good stuff, good stuff. Always glad to get you on here, Harold. It's always a great time, buddy. And Johnny, my friend, I'm glad we were able to get you on one of these lives. Finally, we've been talking about doing this for a minute with you. Where can our listeners find you and your podcast, bro?
You can find me at Instagram and TikTok at Zuko's Corner. You can find me on YouTube at Johnny Zuko and at my production page at TVZ Studios on YouTube. Also on Letterboxd at Johnny Zuko. So throw me a follow, throw me a sub. You could really use it. Also give me to 1,000 on TikTok so I can go live and rate all your movies. Tell them they're all zeros.
I feel you on that too, bro. I feel you about that too, bro. And Dakari, before we get onto this, dude, go ahead, tell our viewers out there about the video you did a few weeks ago with us, real quick.
Yeah, sure. A few weeks ago, I put out a video essay on the Galaxy Film Productions YouTube channel called From the Hidden Closet of the Shaw Brothers. It's basically me giving you guys 3 lesser-known films from the studio, from the library. Shaw Brothers is a independent film studio in Hong Kong that was active during the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, and they gained heavy inspo from the likes of Quentin Tarantino and Wu-Tang Clan, things of that nature. So I talked about 3 lesser-known movies from the library in that video. Diamond Headlock from 1978, Boxers Omen from 1983, and Drunken Monkey from 2000. So I discussed all 3 of those movies in that video essay. You guys can track that down and check it out. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And while you're watching that...
Where can you find that again? The video essay?
From the Hidden Closet of the Shaw Brothers.
Have to check it out, bro. And while you're checking it out, you can go ahead and make sure you're getting spanked like Harold over there at Dakari's Island House, of course.
That's not a thing.
Jesus Christ. Only the best show Galaxy of Film, guys. Only the best going on here. Jesus Christ, this chat is blowing the fuck up. I haven't even had a chance to read these. This is going... God damn. Guys, we're going to go ahead and end off this episode here. Thank you so much for sticking around and interacting with us for this time, for listening to our thoughts on the Guardians trilogy, and, you know, some news going on, too, about Robert De Niro's kids, of course. It's been a great fucking week. Can't wait for next week. We got some big announcements coming to Galaxy of Film. We'll be our episode talking about Beau is Afraid, the new Ari Aster film. I know that's been really anticipated for De Niro going on and whatnot. Can't wait for you guys to hear those thoughts about that episode. And then also, like I said, Alex, you and I are shooting our next film next week. Can't wait to show everyone about that piece. It's going to be dope, dude. A lot's coming here at Galaxy of Film. A lot. But shout outs to all the people in the chat. We got Rike, we got Caitlin Faves Graham, we had our boy Derek Lyon in here as well, we got Sarah Cannon, we had Mason come through as well, we had Spine Ticks. Great fucking chat this week, guys. Really appreciate all the support of this, guys, going on. And be sure to go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at Galaxy of Film. You can find all of our short films and the rest of our podcasts all at galaxyoffilm.com. Go ahead and hit that follow and subscribe button. It truly does help with the show much more than you can imagine. And we'll talk to you guys next week with Beau is Afraid. Bye, guys.